Greetings, surfers of the interweb. I am Parax11, reviewer of the good, the bad, and the underrated. Once again, I have to commend DHX's productivity, as Season 7 has come around pretty quickly, while the other analysts are still focusing on Season 5. Slowpokes with your well-thought-out analysis and actually decent editing. I think I need a therapy visit. Still, even more of the Pony Suicide Squad, yay! And the fact that Celestia will be getting a decent amount of screen time this episode excited me, considering she's a character with loads of potential screaming out for development since episode 1. The fact that the most development she got was with a bunch of background characters says a lot. However, the promos featuring Twilight thinking she needs to send Starlight away made me nervous, considering she could also use more development. I may have hated her redemption, but her episodes in Season 6, while few, were great and showed a lot of potential for future stories. Will this episode give us some thoughtful tips, or be an anger-inducing annoyance? Let's find out as we take a look at Celestial Advice and All Bottled Up. This episode starts with Spike and Starlight recapping the finale.
After all, you saved Equestria from Queen Chrysalis with the help of Trixie and Thora.
Exposition, out ASAP.
There's no such thing as overdressed, darling.
Wow, must have been taking impression lessons from Rainbow Dash, although downing the cringe is good. Twilight's getting her a mirror for saving Equestria and... Wait, freeze those photos! There's another Moon Dancer one, that's good. All the friends' pictures are nice. Oh, that bloody owl should go to Tuzzet. Wait a sec. Celestia Cord is confirmed! Or they're just standing together in a friendly photo. Nah. Pinky's preparing the celebration canonless? Well, either she's a great stage director in the making, or she's better at poofing than me. Must have a bigger budget. At the ceremony, oh my gosh, Discord is there! Yee! Oh wait, that's KP's job. Bugger! And apparently he has it covered. Still, this gives me a good opportunity for vengeance in return for another reviewer's transgressions in Discord's appearances last season. So, Wooden Sword, what do you say? Want a collab?
No.
Okay. The group's given medals for courage, although maybe they should have got Thorax a badge instead. Admittedly, I think I've grown a little warmer toward the Changeling designs. The new colours are appealing and they keep the insect look without being creepy, as well as blending in with the ponies better than their evil designs. I also really love how Thorax is saying that ruling a kingdom is pretty hard, showing that it's not just as easy as that. Also, Andy Price's OC showing up. Good one, DHX.
It was the great and powerful Trixie's pleasure to save you from your imminent doom.
Yes, because you did it all by yourself.
Nothing like a huge ego to keep an even bigger one in check.
No one's ever stood up to Chrysalis like that.
Are we forgetting Season 2? What do you say to that, Krusty the Changeling? Celestia and Twilight discussing Starlight's triumph is something I really like. It gives a new layer to their relationship in that they've shared experience and are more equal through them. Though Twi is obviously still nervous and respectful around her teacher.
I don't think I've ever smiled this much in my life.
Well, except when you...
Hi, girls.
Yeah, maybe I'd want to forget about that as well. Discord then returns to do what he loves. F***ing up Twilight's plans for giving Starlight friendship lessons.
I've planned enough friendship lessons to cover the next 3 years. What's so funny?
No. Clearly Starlight is beyond basic friendship lessons.
Well, she has saved Equestria, maybe a good idea to step it up.
Princess Twilight has something very important to tell us. Well, just you really, but I'm nosy and I want to hear.
You know, now that Freedom Flash has pointed out that...
Those glasses have a human nose.
I can't unsee it. Damn you, Kiwi.
P-Man, watch your insults.
What? I have nothing against Kiwis. They're so fluffy and delicious. Discord tries to force a confrontation, but obviously a party isn't the time.
Psst. I see what you're doing.
Ew. Could have teleported elsewhere rather than ruining Perfectly Good Punch.
You already planned the perfect moment during the party to make the grand announcement to every pony about your plan. I can't wait to tell Fluttershy.
Yay, Fluttercord shipping. Wait, do I ship Fluttercord or Celesticord? Or both?
Why didn't I come up with a path path for Starlight. Princess Celestia had it all figured out for me.
Well, she did have much more free time than you.
I don't think friendship lessons are enough for her anymore.
So you have an overachieving student. Sounds familiar.
Ah, Princess Snark Celestia. I like it. Twilight comes to the rubbish conclusion to send Starlight away.
It really is time for Starlight to go.
No, she needs more development and screen time. Tell us, Celestia.
It's a difficult one, but your heart knows what's right.
You are made of stupid.
Wonder why she didn't tell any of us about it.
Probably because you're not as close as you think you are. Oh, just kidding.
My days of driving your part are behind me. For now. And really nice to see Discord acting more friendly around the main five, even if his motives are still unclear. Whether he actually means to help Twilight in his own way or is just trying to screw with the main six again isn't obvious, but so fitting for him.
Starlight's given the changelings an opportunity to revolutionize their society. Maybe I can send her there.
Not that bad an idea. Wait, is that a hologram spell?
I want to have honeysuckle nectar for lunch.
I would like a sandwich.
Or a school play acting future spell? You'd think Tara's strong character would have a fantasy with good acting.
This doesn't seem like something Starlight and Thorax would do.
This is Twilight's fantasy, Spike. There is no wrong way to fantasize.
Oh my.
I admit that Starlight going to the Changeling Kingdom to help build on what she did last season is an okay plan, but Twilight's worrying puts paid to those thoughts.
I'm so glad I'm a pony. Are you like bugs or what?
Twilight, you may want to give Dr. Wolf another visit. It's just a friendly tip.
I can't just send her off to Celestia knows where without thinking it through.
I was not aware that I was an expression.
Okay. That line was priceless. She then thinks of the dragons where Starlight turns into a server. Although more Ember is nice, but as with every episode he's in, Garble ruins it.
I just need to think of someplace safe to send her.
Her town to make up for being a dictator?
I could send her to the Crystal Empire to continue her magical studies with Sunburst.
Or more sunlight shipping, that works too.
3, 2, 1.
What if they become too ambitious?
Well, I'm not really sure how... Oh dear Celestia, they're trying pony transmutation. Don't do it, you two. When they say the truth hurts, they really freaking mean it. Tia, I know you have a weird sense of humour, but I really don't think two ponies being sucked Luna knows where is funny.
I'm laughing because I had the exact same fears you're having.
Celestia actually did teaching rather than vague, detached lessons. What new spore of madness is this? Celestia actually worrying about Twilight socializing and sending her away is just brilliant. It shows that under her calm exterior, she's just as prone to stress as her student, as well as showing how much she cares. It's some excellent fleshing out of her and Twilight's bond, and probably her best moment in the show, helping Twilight learn a lesson through her own experience, that even if Starlight goes away, she'll still be able to guide and help her.
I am embarrassed to admit it, but I was afraid if you made friends, you wouldn't need me anymore.
Princess Celestia, that is so not true. I will always need you.
Oh, I love this episode so much.
I may have let it slip that you'd be unveiling your big plan for Starlight tonight.
Wow, you're kind of a douche, aren't you, Discord? But the most magnificent douche ever. Twilight's speech about letting Starlight go is great, but she should have considered her student's penchant for stress. I mean, she's okay with it, but still.
I was hoping you'd send her to my realm. We could have been roomies.
Well, there's always the smooze. Though then again, that would take a lot of cleaning up.
I know a trick that'll turn Celestia's castle into cheese. Do you think it's a Gouda idea?
Oh, come on. You must be able to think of something less cheesy. There must still be a ton of... I'll stop these dairy-edful... Tough crowd. However, does Starlight really have to go?
I'm not ready to leave! Oh, good, because I'm not ready for that either.
Oh, so what was the last 20 minutes for? Regardless, this moment of Starlight actually deciding to stay is great, as well as Twilight accepting her student's will to stay, that the place she needs to be is with her teacher. A damn sight better than Celestia's handling of sending Twilight off. Also, Pinky is best cleaning pony. Make of that what you will. All Bottled Up begins not following up the last episode. Yeah, this premiere isn't really a two-parter in the traditional sense. They both focus on Starlight and her future as well as conflict, but are two entirely separate stories. Trixie and Starlight are baking, with Gilderoy Lockhart Pony having trouble with the laws of equivalent exchange.
Teacup! No! Teacup! Oh, no!
As if a mere salt shaker could be turned into a vessel for the most wondrous liquid produced by man or mutant.
It could be because you're just yelling teacup and not picturing it in your mind.
Well, I don't think that's a... Oh well. She then goes mad with power. Even I wouldn't want that much tea. Crippling the castle's dining and creating the biggest abomination of life since the orange amphibian and avian epidemic.
I guess I pictured a teacup poodle. Boo! This is the first time I did a transfiguration spell. Real magic!
Well, you've just levitated stuff and created screens, so I don't think that's real enough. And that face. Ugh, that's far scarier than anything Villain Starlight did. Trixie decides that pretzels are a worthy replacement for tea cakes and... Starlight is best pony. Welcome to the Red Lanterns. The main six are going on a friendship retreat, whatever that is, although considering what they've been through, I'd probably need a crap ton of retreats. Ironically, the most worthy of a retreat stays behind.
Relax. If anything breaks, Starlight will just go back in time and fix it.
Watch it!
They're gonna bonjourlos, and if I know them, they're gonna sing a song.
Ooh, the meta humor is strong with this one. Trixie doesn't apologise for mucking up the tea cakes. Nice. And they try to practice disappearing by teleporting.
Well, I've always found magic is tied to my emotions. Whatever I'm feeling fuels whatever I'm doing.
Ah, some explanation for magic. You tease me, episode. Trixie continues to be the element of brutal honesty, Starlight having more rage gas before attempting to teleport something. Don't pick a fly. Or a character who's abused too often. At the escape in Manhattan, it's revealed to be...
The clues will lead you to a key to get out.
Team building!
Do you really need team building? I think 7 seasons worth of friendship trouble has forged your bonds tougher than a riddle room can. And besides, after the Arkham games, I just don't trust those things. Ugh, too many glowing Jackson Pollock rooms.
I'm just happy to be with all of you.
Aw, best pony. Yeah, best pony. They need to get out in 1 hour to break a record. Took me longer in some riddle rooms. Meanwhile, Trixie has to teleport an apple.
Doing the spell! No, Trix, wait, not just...
Well, there goes our quickest means of detecting friendship problems and major disasters. Congratulations, Trixie. You have doomed Equestria. She reacts.
On the plus side, my magic is getting better. I made a whole table go poof!
Inappropriately.
What were you thinking?
She wasn't. Heck, can she? She continues to be an a-hole, while Starlight's anger head fart must be contained in a jar.
I'm hoping if I bottle up my anger...
Double meaning.
Oh, there you are! For a minute, I didn't think you were coming back and that you might be upset with me for some weird reason.
What an
At this point, I think a restraining order would be more magical than friendship. At the riddle room, they solve it quickly, gaining a scroll. Hopefully it contains a way to write Trixie more likably, while our unicorn duo go to a jeweler's because, as Hasbro likes to preach, buying stuff is magic. As they go around Ponyville, Starlight's mane goes more ragged. Much better symbol of her stress and anger than Red Hulk's farts. And for only noticing Starlight's stress over halfway into the story, Trixie gets null point.
You seem a little... what's the word?
Remind me to use that sometime, though. That's a good word. Almost as good as Skaturgaflargum. Copyright Vogue Saxon 7. Trixie attempts to pickpocket Starlight as the surrounding ponies are all turned into 4chan users.
You ruined my tea cakes!
What?
You just had to give Twilight those smelly pretzels!
Not nearly as harsh as some of the criticisms to Ghostbusters, many of which I wrote. The main six managed to unlock a door. Nice juxtaposition of friends achieving a mundane task through cooperation, while Starlight and Trixie's lack of communication has caused pretty big problem. Twilight then fulfills Starlight's meta humor, and it's okay. It's catchy enough and all the lyrics are apt descriptions of what the characters would think of each other, but there's no meat to it, other than, we're friends, that's great, introverts be damned. However, the game's not over till the keys turned up.
Can we do it?
So close. You missed the Griffin record by 2 seconds.
You paid for your bubblegum pop fluff with your victory. Finally, mediocre songs in this have a price. Let's see if we can make Ed Sheeran pay next. Back in Ponyville, everyone's venting Starlight's frustrations.
And you don't always have to bring up my dark past!
You have no idea the dirty deals I've made with chaos spirits and megalomaniacs to live this long. I founded this town, and according to Twilight, it's been around for hundreds of years. Try figuring that out, continuity buffs. Starlight then finally comes clean about her annoyance, and it feels rightfully harsh, giving a good message that you should be honest with friends about your frustration, otherwise they can spread and hurt other people as well as you.
I'm not kind!
Hang on. Don't you work at the spa?
I'm late for my other job!
Ooh, a bulk of many talents. And Trixie and Starlight forgiving each other is definitely touching, as well as the fact that the tables at the spa, where both of them first met in No Second Chances. Cute. But how did they get it into the castle sans teleportation? I guess they needed Bulk's most obvious talent and Big Mac to remove a few doorways. Our main heroines return, suggesting a spa visit. The one time where that won't be relaxing.
Do you have a spell that will make the spa ponies forget that the map table was there? If we learn that lesson, how will we ever have fun?
Brainwashing is fun. Why do I get the feeling that Starlight read 1984 and took it completely the wrong way? So that was Celestial Advice and All Bottled Up. 2 great episodes to start the season. I thought having 2 separate small-scale stories as opposed to one large way to start up the season would diminish them, but no, they were excellent. I'll start with my thoughts on All Bottled Up first, as I think that was the lesser of the 2, mostly thanks to Trixie. I get that she's meant to be annoying, but still, even by Trixie's standards, she's really insensitive and puerile. Her not caring about Starlight's feelings or the magical artifact that helps protect Equestria was baffling, since they seemed pretty much on the same page in To Where and Back Again. Also, Starlight's annoyance felt a little perplexing, considering she puts up with what Trixie did at a lesser level in their last episodes, but the key word there is lesser, so it's kind of understandable. However, the anger cloud is a nice metaphor for Starlight's frustration. The escalation of said frustration builds nicely. The main 6's part in the plot, while seemingly irrelevant at first, adds an interesting contrast later, and I really do love the moral. Speaking as someone who has had problems with bottling up his anger in the past. So while this is the weaker episode from the premiere, it's still very good and pleasing to see one of the more interesting friendships in the show, despite some stressful elements. As for Celestial Advice, I freaking loved this episode. Twilight's worries over Starlight's future felt organic, Discord's manipulation of her felt appropriate and built on their interesting frenemy dynamic in a far better way than what about Discord. Many of the other character interactions are excellent, the pacing and the structure feels nice, and Celestia's presentation was utterly perfect. Over the past seasons, she's been crying out for more appearances and development, outside of being captured whenever the latest world-ending threat comes up or a very brief cameo. Seeing her worries about Twilight's future fleshed her out in a way not since her and Luna's spat in Slice of Life. Her going through the same struggles as Twilight, for lack of a better word, humanizes her and gives her quite a bit of relatability. The ending with Twilight accepting Starlight's wishes to stay is also great, realizing she isn't the same as Celestia and actually discusses with her student before sending her off. Overall, these episodes were an excellent way to start Season 7, just as strong a part as they are combined for some nice Starlight development. I am Pyrex11, thank you for watching.